show for you tonight, so let's get right into it with a look back at the news of the week. The Nationals swept the Cardinals on Tuesday night to clinch a World Series spot for the first time in team history. Between this and the Joker movie, things are finally looking up for the DC universe. Rob Gronkowski attempted to slam the door on comeback rumors by saying, quote, "When I retired for a reason." I don't remember that reason right now, but I know I did have one. Due to restrictions by the North Korean government, North Korea played South Korea in a World Cup qualifier at an empty stadium. Maybe they had a perfectly good reason for it, said LeBron James. The Titans are making a change at quarterback, benching Marcus Mariota in favor of Ryan Tannehill, although they were strongly considering C, none of the above. Trey Flowers was incorrectly penalized for 2 hands-to-the-face penalties that cost the Lions a win on Monday night and said, quote, "I didn't think hands to the chest was a penalty." It's not, it's second base. Is it still second base? Don't answer that. And lastly, Adam Schefter did the Lambeau leap before Monday night's game in Green Bay and displayed the athletic ability you'd expect from a sports journalist.
40% of his Twitter followers do not believe he can make it.
I don't either.
All right, Adam. Let's do it.
Here we go. Here goes nothing. Oh, my God.
Don't slip. Oh, my gosh. Don't.
Okay, but to be fair, it's Monday Night Countdown, not The Jump. ESPN. Moving on to our main story tonight, the controversy around Nationals reliever Daniel Hudson missing Game 1 of the NLCS to be with his wife for the birth of their 3rd child last week got me thinking about how comfortable we are picking apart athletes' lives. Like, I get it, they're public figures and a certain degree of that is part of the job, but I guess what I don't get is why we don't keep that same energy for the richest and most powerful people in sports, team owners. Sure, we mostly dislike them, although we do make an exception for Steve Ballmer because, well, how could you not?
I have these notes, but I gotta say I'm just fired up to be here today. It's pretty cool, pretty damn cool. Woo!
Okay, but they opened up a Taco Bell down the street from our office this week, and that is exactly how I reacted. But I don't think I've ever seen a breakdown of the worst owners in sports. So tonight, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, that's right. Get excited. We're gonna go sport by sport, starting with the NBA, and wow, I mean, so many to choose from. Donald Sterling comes to mind, or Robert Sarver, current owner of the Suns. His team hasn't made the playoffs in 9 years, yet he reportedly still threatened to move the franchise if the city didn't fund a new arena, which, yeah, is awful, but also gave us this.
Mr. Sarver has done nothing to improve this team in the 14 years he's owned it. He's so tight, he squeaks when he walks.
Bam! Yo, I have not seen an 89-year-old dunk like that since Vince Carter last season. And then, of course, there's Knicks owner James Dolan, who has guided the team to exactly 1 playoff series win since 2001. He's also the frontman of a band named JD and the Straight Shot. Their hits include I Should Have Known, which is a sort of Me Too anthem about how Dolan regrets not doing more to stop his friends from sexually assaulting women. And, yeah, that's real. And Fix the Knicks, a little ditty that features the lyric, "Doing my best, yes, that's my promise. I check with my friend called Isaiah Thomas." His friend called Isaiah Thomas, who was accused of sexual harassment by a former employee when he was an executive with the Knicks, who Dolan then later brought back into the organization as president of the New York Liberty, a WNBA team. Yes, you should have known. There is so much more on him, but we've only got a half-hour show, so let's go ahead and we're going to crown James Dolan the worst owner in the NBA. All right, yes, don't clap. On to Major League Baseball. Again, another tough one. The Wilpons became sole owners of the Mets in 2002, and since then have brought the franchise 0 World Series wins, but 2 Ponzi schemes. There's Stuart Sternberg, owner of the Rays, who spends as little on his team as possible but wants taxpayers to fund a new stadium, or else he's going to move the team to Montreal for half the season. You know, like shared custody between your mom and a random stranger who also had a kid once. But bad owners in baseball are a lot like everyone's retired parents in that you can find them anywhere, but they're mostly concentrated in South Florida. In 2002, Jeffrey Loria purchased the Marlins for a reported $158 million. He got a taxpayer-funded stadium in Miami that opened in 2012, and then sold the team 5 years later for $1.2 billion. He's like one of those people that flips houses, except these houses still had people living in them, which I feel like means they should get a cut of that giant profit, right?
Miami-Dade County and the city of Miami were supposed to get 5% of the profits here in the sale of the ballpark. Loria's accountants provided a document today saying that they are owed zero. It is fascinating. In fact, he's actually saying, you owe me money.
Oh, you? But that wasn't even one of the options. But no, don't worry, Marlins fans. The team was sold to a new ownership group headed by CEO Derek Jeter, and there's no way that he would let history repeat itself in Miami. Huh? Oh, he did. Okay, I'm hearing that he did. Jeter cut costs by shipping the team's best players away in trades, but with the added fun of also firing a scout who was in the hospital recovering from cancer surgery and the mascot. Not the guy in the suit. Him too, but the suit. Jeter looked that thing in its dead black eyes and said, pack your dorsal fin, bud, we don't need you here. So it's not really one owner, but I'm still okay with naming the owners of the Marlins as the worst owners in baseball, so congrats. On to NHL owners, a bunch of billionaires you've absolutely never heard of, so we'll just cut right to the chase. Eugene Melnyk of the Ottawa Senators. He's been investigated for accounting fraud by 2 countries and has been sued by a casino over a gambling debt. And in 2015, when Melnyk unfortunately found himself in need of a liver transplant, an anonymous Senators fan donated part of their liver and didn't ask for a dime in return. All they wanted was, quote, to help Mr. Melnyk return to good health, to enjoy his family and friends, and most importantly, to bring the Stanley Cup home to the Ottawa Senators. It showed that a bond between owner and fan base can never be broken. Until 2 years later, when Melnyk showed just what this fan's generosity meant to him.
Do you ever consider them moving this franchise?
If it becomes a disaster, yes. If you start not seeing crowds showing up, yes. If you open a grocery store and nobody comes to your store, but 2 blocks down, you put a store in and there's a lineup outside, where are you going to have your store?
I don't know, it depends. Do they sell liver? Eugene Melnyk, worst owner in the NHL. So now we're on the NFL, and honestly, it's very tough to pick favorites. In Carolina, Jerry Richardson sold the Panthers and had to pay $2.75 million for workplace misconduct. Browns owner Jimmy Haslam had to pay a $92 million penalty for cheating customers of his former company. And then football-wise, he told Sal Pal that he drafted Johnny Manziel for a totally legit reason.
But he said, here in Cleveland, everywhere I go, people know me. And I was out to dinner recently, and a homeless person was out on the street, looked up at me and said, draft Manziel, just like that.
That didn't happen. But in any conversation about bad owners, there's this one name that consistently stands out above the rest. A man who has found a way to embarrass himself and his team in just about every facet of ownership. That man is our worst owner, not just in the NFL, but in all of sports. That man is Washington's Daniel Snyder. Now, thank you, yes, I was going to list all the reasons Snyder deserves this, but I figured that would probably make him real mad, maybe to the point of retaliation. So instead, I'm gonna do what anyone does when they want to criticize someone without making them mad. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Roast of Daniel Snyder. Thank you so much, so happy to be here. You know, what can I say about Daniel Snyder that hasn't already been said about food poisoning? You know, it's incredible. Dan Snyder has owned this team for 2 decades. And in that span of time, Washington has never led the league in total points or yards. And yet, thanks to that nickname, still an offensive powerhouse. People forget, Daniel Snyder was in charge of Six Flags when they filed for bankruptcy. Yeah. Sounds like someone was mad he wasn't tall enough to ride the rides. All right, seriously though, this is the part of the roast where I'm supposed to say that I love Daniel Snyder and it's an honor to be here roasting him, but instead, I'm gonna bring in comedian Nikki Glazer to help me roast some of you after the break. Don't leave.
To the outside world, you look good, but you don't feel.
Welcome back to Always Late. Every sports fan knows someone who just deserves to be roasted. A friend, a foe, yourself. This week we asked you to send us that person in your life who deserves it most. And I called in my friend and roaster extraordinaire, Nikki Glazer, to help me do it. Important to remember, they asked for this, okay? Check it out. I'm here with the wonderful, incomparable, honestly, Nikki Glazer.
I thought you were gonna say incompetent.
Incompetent, total idiot. You have a new special out.
Yes, I have a special
Netflix
on
special?
Netflix called
It's so
Bangin'. Thanks, girl. Yeah, it was really fun, and I'm really proud of it. People seem to like it. That makes me feel super good. And I'm going on tour in the new year.
The other thing people might know you from is how good you are at roast.
Yeah, I did the roast of Alec Baldwin, I've done the roast of Bruce Willis, and I did the roast of Rob Lowe. I feel like it's my thing now. It's the hardest thing ever. I'm glad it's just once a year.
Yeah, good. So that sets us up good for this next segment we're gonna do, in which we had a bunch of sports fans submit themselves or their friends that they thought deserved to be roasted. It's a thing on the internet though. People are like, roast me. And
Yeah.
so I was
Do you like being roasted?
No, I hate it. Compliment me.
Yes.
Give me more compliments.
All I want are compliments.
I don't need you to insult me. I have my app mentions for
Yeah,
that. Like
yes.
I really don't. All right, so this segment is roast me. Okay, first up. This was submitted by Cameron2494.
Okay.
He's a Dolphins fan. Need I say more? He's chugging a Bud Light. The Dolphins are 0-5. They have not won. They're not going to win. They're tanking. And he still spent money to go there and spent money on a beer.
Yeah.
And spells Cameron with a K. Like,
Oh,
that's
Cameron
that's
with a
not-
K
Cameron
is
with a
not
K.
good. You know he changed that on his birth
Right,
certificate. It's definitely
right.
a C, but in high school he was like, I need a new identity, and he doesn't have one because he's white and a man, and so he's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be Cameron with a K, and everyone had to like kind of embrace it, and now he's just stuck with it.
Don't root for the Dolphins if you love yourself. Definitely don't go to the games. You just stay home and you're like, I'm a Dolphins fan and I'm gonna do this in private. Like, I don't go out and like cry into a pint of ice cream in public. I do that at my house.
Right.
Should we leave Cameron alone, go on to the next
Yes,
one?
leave Cameron alone. That's also what his mom said when she called the school and said, he's being bullied. Will you tell those kids to leave Cameron alone? He's like, Mom, don't do this.
You're
She's like,
making it worse.
You're crying every day when you come home from school, Cameron with a K.
It's sweat. My eyes are sweating. Maddie H submitted this one. Duke fan, did not go to Duke.
Oh, yeah. That's in his mom's house for sure.
Yeah,
There's
he
like a
looks
little...
like she bought him that for Christmas. This is
Yep.
like his birthday or something.
Yep.
And that
It's
like
time to get your own place.
That sage green paint on the walls. That's such a mom color.
His
That's
mom's
what mom
purse
has.
is by the
Yeah,
chair
it
right
is.
here.
It's a nice
totally,
purse.
yeah.
That's why he's a Duke fan. Didn't go to Duke. He's a rich kid. This is a rich kid. Ladies, look closely at his face. This man's gonna break your heart. Don't talk to him.
Break
Don't
your
let him
heart
into your
or
life.
something
He's
else.
not to be trusted. My friend Burton is a huge Auburn fan. He's a terrible gambler. He sucks so bad at it that he brags about bad beats. He calls his bedroom the Red Cave.
Oh, God.
He also responds to the name Pubert. This is awkward because I've dated him. Like, this guy and I matched, and it was just a couple times. And the Red Cave it's more of a crimson, but I get that it's easier to call it a Red Cave.
And he probably does the worm at weddings, and no one wants him to.
Absolutely does.
You know, and he probably can't really do it much anymore because he's, you know, out of shape, and he still demands to do it because it was his thing in college. And then people let him go, and they're like, I guess Pubert's doing the worm, make room for him. But he's too drunk and out of shape, and he slams his face on the floor, and he starts bleeding everywhere and like ruins Denise's wedding.
Poor Denise.
I know, and it was like, she really is thinking this is gonna be the rest of her life, even though Denise, they're not gonna last.
They're not.
Her
They're
and,
never gonna
her and
last.
Tom.
You can't stay.
You
with
can already
Tom
tell.
forever. This is Clay Mart. He wants us to roast young Pepe, 25, or young PP. I don't know. I don't want.
Okay.
Who believes that Tom Brady is strictly a system quarterback and doesn't deserve any of the rings that he has won.
Oh.
My question is, if he's a system quarterback, what's the system? Because I'm pretty sure Tom Brady's won rings under 3 different offensive coordinators.
That's a terrible angle for him. By the
They're
way,
all
I bet he's
terrible angles.
really cute.
It's making the shape of his face look like the outline of like a thumbprint.
Yeah.
It's just perfectly oval, and Like, you shouldn't talk about Tom Brady ever.
He legit looks like a thumbprint.
He's a thumbprint.
You can't do better than that.
You don't have to go, like, going to the gym, that's not gonna fix your thumb face. I'm sorry. Okay, next one. This comes from Little Fonty. She wants us to roast her husband, John. They've been married for 3 years, together for 10. That's a long-ass time.
They've been together since preschool.
That means
Very
it
young.
took him 7 years to propose. He's an all Buffalo fan. I'm an all New England fan. Also, he gave me pneumonia and I had tickets to your show, but I couldn't attend because of him. Listen, John, you. How's that for a list? You. Look, it's a pretty small audience, and there aren't that many people that want to come here, so when somebody gets tickets and you keep them from coming, now you're taking food off my table.
Yeah, she's pissed.
I need to eat.
At you, John. He's cute.
He's like,
Looks
you're
like
thinking
him.
about dating him.
I mean,
she wants to date you, but I am mad.
But and once we start dating, I'll talk to him about that. And
Thank you.
Yeah.
Could you just talk, just like
If
figure
he gives
like
me
my friend
pneumonia
Katie.
and I miss out on hanging out with you on camera, which is
Yeah.
the only time we hang out,
Right.
I'll be pissed.
Yeah, I will be pissed too.
I'm planting
They've
a
been
seed.
married for 3 years.
Yeah, and it's time to wrap
other
that up.
They're
You
getting
guys
the
have been
light.
together most of your lives.
She's giving you the light.
Come on,
Wrap
come
it
on.
up. Go watch Bangin' on Netflix. We love Nikki Glazer. I drive my girls on the women's national team home from soccer practice right after this. Keep clapping!
To the outside world, you look good, but you...
Welcome back to Always Late. A few weeks ago, the U.S. women's national team was in Philadelphia for their victory tour. I am obviously a huge fan of the team. Sup, Tobin? And I figured they may not have a good soccer mom in their life. So I threw on my best pair of mom jeans, loaded up the minivan, and scooped them up from practice. Take a look.
Girls! Hi! Mom's here!
You're late.
How was practice? Come on, let's go. We're gonna do some fun stuff.
Hey, Mom.
Come on, let's put that bag in the trunk.
Okay.
What are you doing? What did I tell you? What did I tell you about honking at me?
It's my turn. It's my turn to sit up front.
Show some respect. Seatbelts on.
Always.
Seatbelts on.
Can you see us?
What are you two doing?
We just missed each other.
You doing silly stuff? You being silly?
We got in there.
Yeah.
Mom, drink.
Where'd you come
This is
from?
Mom's special juice. But for you girls,
Give it a sniff.
guess what I brought you?
Yeah.
Who wants some water? I got water. I got juice box.
Yes, juice box.
Juice box. I got oranges, orange slices.
Oh, yeah, that too.
There's no beer in there?
Kelly, what have I told you?
You're the best.
Give me one of yours. Tell me about practice.
Oh.
How did it go? How are the girls? What's going on? What's new? What's old?
Me and Pino were really tired when we were running, and we couldn't say stop. She's putting orange peels all over me.
I had to wipe
my hands. She didn't bring napkins.
Kellyanne. Should I bring Kellyanne? No, it feels so much
Kelly
better to
Marie.
say Kellyanne. Look how it is! Say hi to the girls.
You locked me. You have
Child locks are important.
Bye, girls.
God, I forgot that I have the three biggest stars of the team in my car. I was like, why are they all looking at me?
Do you know,
I'm so
Mom?
sorry.
It's okay. You know, Mom, we did win the World Cup, did you not?
You know, I had heard,
Yeah.
but I wasn't
busy.
sure. I wanted to hear it from you guys directly. I can't trust any of these mothers in the neighborhood.
It was a big deal.
Yeah, and I'm
They
so
spread the
happy
lies.
for you, but I do need you guys to clean your rooms, okay? I get it. I won the World
can't
Cup.
even- I mean, we've
Clean
been
your rooms.
busy.
And
And we're in a hotel all
You
the
think
time.
I'm not
So
busy?
we don't even need to, like, make our bed.
I don't know,
And then
you know, we're not
you
thinking
expect
about
us
you.
to make our bed and clean our room, but
I'm
we haven't
done with
made
the
do
talk
that in
back.
the hotel room.
I'm done with the talk back, Alex.
I make my bed every morning, Mom.
When you get older, you'll realize being a mom is a full-time job, okay? So I don't want to hear
you
this.
just stay
I'm
with me
busy.
forever and clean my room and make my bed.
Honey, there's nothing I want more than to do that, but it can't be that way.
'Cause I'm your favorite
you're
mom.
married, and it's getting weird.
Oh, yeah. That.
So listen,
Appreciate it.
about your
Mine
allowance
hurts.
this month.
Yeah, I'm gonna need an advance on that. Oh yeah, about
Well,
that.
your brother needed
We have a
it.
brother?
Yeah, and he's doing more chores. So
He's not doing more chores.
I'm gonna give him we'll figure it out.
I'm really good at
You look at all the times of the allowances I've paid you, technically I've given you guys more money. So like, let's just leave that
be.
But
okay?
you think brother is doing more chores than us.
Actually,
He's not better at them, but he's doing them more often.
Oh, no, he's not.
He is certainly doing them more
Oh, he's not doing them more often.
He's not even our full brother. He's just
we're
our half
actually
brother.
doing them more often.
You know,
He's
girls,
just getting paid more for them.
I must have missed the part where I was introducing a debate. Okay?
I think he did one chore and he got more than us.
I was really hoping we get some World Cup tea. You can give me a blind item.
Ooh.
You'd be like, someone got so drunk that we had to pretend they were hurt for the next game.
We got together with a group of players and we made up rumors that were completely false.
Yeah,
Like
we
what?
did. Within the team and the staff.
Within this team and the staff, like
this
who was
sounds
dating who and who was hooking up with who based on who would go to breakfast and dinner together.
XOXO Gossip Girl. And
Yeah.
Wow, I love
we have
that.
a text thread
We
about
completely made it up.
You didn't know about that?
You went to bed too early.
What was the rumor about her?
It was mostly staff.
It was mostly staff.
It was actually all
Wow,
staff.
so you guys were like, you were people's actual jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that.
We were keeping it amongst
Keeping
ourselves.
it, yeah.
Oh,
we had
HR
a group chain.
And we
going,
kept
group
our
text.
eyes
But everybody
peeled.
knew it was a joke?
Oh. Do you like to
What if it
This is
the tea? Is that
this
what they
is
call the
more
tea?
tea than I was ready for. What do you guys want to do for dinner tonight? Are you a vegan?
I am.
That sounds tough.
Mom, you don't know that?
I did, but it's hard to keep track. You guys are always, oh, I'm vegan. Oh, I'm gay. Like, how can I keep track? You guys are always going through your little fads.
I've been on it for a bit now, though.
Are we home yet?
We are literally
home.
All right, girls, go.
Okay.
Can you boil the water for the pasta?
It's rice-a-roni.
The rice-a-roni?
Can you throw these away for us?
Absolutely. Just leave your trash here,
my
Mom.
trash.
I'll take care of it.
Too.
Love you, Mom.
Okay, love you
Driving
too.
safely this time.
Love you.
Don't
See you in a
drive away. I need
minute.
to grab my
you,
bag
Mom.
out of the
Bye,
trunk.
Okay, I won't.
Thanks. My bag? Kelly's bag. There's a man in here! Dad!
Dad's in the back.
You should take a shower.
Yep. Thank you. Didn't practice.
Worth noting, every single one of them asked who their favorite kid was, and I was like, oh, it's you, honey. Don't forget, you guys, the NWSL semifinals are this Sunday, starting at 1:30 Eastern on ESPN2. And if you want to go to the Red Stars Thorns match in Chicago, we teamed up with SeatGeek to do a really cool thing. They are giving us a designated Katie section in the stadium with a limited number of seats. Tickets are 50% off. All proceeds go to the Special Olympics of Illinois. So all you got to do is use promo code Katie19. I'll tweet this out if you need to find it later. That's it for our show. Big thanks to our guests, Nikki Glazer, Megan Rapinoe, Alex Morgan, and Kellyanne O'Hara. For our fantastic studio audience, you at home for watching. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Here it is, the moment of death.
Unless Gruden and his boys get off the schneid tonight against the Broncos, they might have to change that team motto to just spin, baby. It's cold, Albino. Hold me.